Senator Roger Marshall is Republican of Kansas and a member of the Senate Homeland Security Committee. I just want to throw up this email that was part of the report. It says it's from a local police near that glass building. It says, kid leaning around building we are in. AGR, I believe it is. I did see him with a rangefinder looking towards stage. FYI. If you want to notify SS snipers to look out, I lost sight of him. Also, a bike with backpack sitting next to it in rear of building that was not seen earlier. I mean, and they didn't think to pull the president from the event, sir?
So 2 minutes before shots were fired, the Secret Service knew there was a man on the roof. For 2 minutes, they let the president out there exposed before those shots were fired. And then back up for at least 30 minutes, the Secret Service knew that there was a suspicious character out there with a rangefinder. I think everybody would be very concerned. Why did they let the president take the stage? Why didn't they get him off the stage? I think what this report reveals is that, number one, is there's a lack of a chain of command. They had a horrible plan. It was executed even worse, and the communications were siloed. It'll take days to break down the failures, but there is a cultural rot within the Secret Service. We need a crisis management team to go in there yesterday, turn this place upside down, and start over.
Well, we're in the middle of an election here, and they got a lot of work to do, too, with 41 days and counting. Senator, let me ask you this. There was a counter-sniper team that was assigned to that rally on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. Apparently, that's never been done before for a person who wasn't the official candidate. Remember, the convention had not gotten underway for 2 days later, all right? On July 12th, a Pakistani man was arrested, and there are reports that he had some connection to Iran. How much light can you shed on that, and is that the reason why the counter-sniper team that ultimately took out crooks was assigned to this rally?
Right. So number one, there was absolutely a credible threat that day. And I can't go into the specifics of what the credible threat were, but the Trump team, the Secret Service, knew of a very credible threat to President Trump. And I think that is one of the reasons why they had this counter-sniper team. But let's compare this to Jill Biden the same day. Jill Biden is at an event with 400 people, and she's inside, and she has more resources than Donald Trump has. You know, why? How come? Look, there was a credible threat there. The Secret Service failed. No one is accepting responsibility. It's just like, oh, the team made this decision, the team made that decision, so they take no credible responsibility, and that's why we need to turn this place upside down. And I go back to this, they need a crisis management team to go in there and take the place over.
Senator Josh Hawley was on with Jesse last night talking about a whistleblower claim. Watch here.
Whistleblower with direct knowledge of the Trump campaign and the Secret Service and their interactions tell us that the Secret Service recently told the Trump campaign they could not secure a rally for Donald Trump in the state of Wisconsin. It directly contradicts what the Secret Service Director Rowe said last week when he said, oh, Trump is getting exactly the same level of protection as Kamala Harris and the sitting president. It calls into question what they're saying about parity between Harris and Trump. And once again, it underscores the fact they're not telling us the whole truth.
In addition, could you just, in the remaining time we have, talk about this drone issue, that they don't have the assets, but they don't even know how to work the assets that they have?
Well, they're the Keystone Cops right now. The Secret Service is the Keystone Cops. They don't know who's on first, what's on second. It's a comedy of errors. And that's, again, I keep going back to this. It is so broken. We need someone like a Mike Pompeo to step in there and take over and give President Trump the protection he needs. Look, this is why it's so important. Americans out there thinking, if we cannot protect our leaders, can they protect us? So we need to give all the resources necessary to protect President Trump. It's very obvious that Iran, that Russia, that China does not want Donald Trump to be president again. They're scared to death of him.
Senator, we look forward to getting more from you and your team, both Republicans and Democrats, and please come back, sir. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.